Hi everyone, welcome to Good Bad Daily. I'm Chris King.
Alexander Void.
Today's we're having Game Rundown number 10, where we're going to break down all the biggest game topics of the week. And Alex is our host for today.
What's up, guys? So we'll actually start off with super cool news like delays, because we all love delays. So we got Uncharted 4 is delayed till spring 2016. We got Homefront, the Revolution delayed till 2016, and then we have Crytek went bankrupt when Deep Silver purchased the IP in 2014, and also we're missing Batman Arkham Knight, which got delayed 3 weeks. So we'll start off with Uncharted 4. So Uncharted 4 was delayed, like I said, spring 2016. They said is much more ambitious than we expected. So your thoughts on this?
It's excuses. Look, we're not developers yet, but the thing is that, okay, it was supposed to be, it was slated for fall 2015.
Yes.
Right. So that I would expect no earlier than November. So probably between November and December, obviously. I think it would have been a good game for December, actually. But so anyway, so let's just say it feels November. So it's been delayed. I'm expecting at least till February. They haven't said when. Does it say spring? Spring. So it actually might be closer to March or something like that. All the games from this fall got delayed to March. You know, Battlefield and what have you, all these other games. The Order and everything like that, they were delayed till spring. So this seems to be like the new window. Look, we are not going to claw at your doors if no one was clawing at Naughty Dog's door saying, when's Uncharted 4 coming out? When's Uncharted 4 coming out? Like, you guys chose to come out and tell us when. You chose to come out and get our hopes up for almost no reason. It was really, really unnecessary. Look, there's a difference between when we get financial reports and they say, oh, Naughty Dog reported to their shareholders that Uncharted is coming this year. That's different.
Yeah.
That's what they have to tell the shareholders. But you didn't have to put out a trailer saying fall 2015. You did that to us, and it was unnecessary. It's bad business, and it makes you guys look weak, for lack of a better word. I mean,
unorganized.
Yeah, it's just unnecessary. Again, like if we're working on some sort of super hype book and stuff, we will tell you guys, like, it's gonna come out when it's ready. We're going to work on it for as much as we can. We will get it out as soon as we can. But we're not sure about Windows yet. 5 months, out, or 8 months out, we can tell you, okay, we have a good idea about when it's gonna come out. Here's the window. But 2015, like, you guys announced this in 2014.
Yeah.
It's so unnecessary. Like, you guys should have known by now. A lot is riding on Uncharted 4 to close out the series in a really strong way. So I don't buy it. Much more ambitious than we imagined. What were you guys imagining? Sorry, it's a little bit of a rant, but
Less ambitious game. Come on.
It's just annoying. It's just really annoying, and it's unnecessary.
Yeah, I guess if they were like further along the post-production process, that's when they should actually talk about it. It's like, we're just rendering whatever, or fixing these edges. I think they should have said, like, it's gonna release soon. Or after that, or they could take the Kingdom Hearts route. Now in production.
Precisely. Exactly. That's why I'm not expecting Kingdom Hearts till 2017. I mean,
they could go as far as they want.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll suck because we want it now, but nonetheless, like, they didn't say it's coming out in a week.
It's now. Look, and just the last thing I'll say about it is just, look, the quote, much more ambitious than we imagined. Uncharted is a linear game. Okay, This reminds you like Metal Gear. All these Metal Gear games have been linear games. When Kojima said we're going to do an open world Metal Gear, he is the only person that had that excuse of, this is much more ambitious than I imagined, because he did not make open world games. He's going from linear to open world, and he's putting out like in a year.
Yeah.
And that game is going to be twice the size of Uncharted 4. Not saying it's going to be better, but it's going to be twice the size of Uncharted 4, and he has not delayed that game once. So, just saying.
Yeah, so it sucks, especially since we've seen a lot of delays. So let's just go on to the next delay, which is Homefront, the Revolution, delayed till 2016. So when was this even announced?
This was announced like in 2013, I believe, at E3.
Wow.
It was supposed to come out with these new consoles, not as a launch, but it was supposed to have the new Crytek engine, which made Rise for Xbox One and stuff. Deep Silver recently purchased the IP. So again, it was announced in 2013. Crytek went bankrupt. Then Deep Silver purchased the IP, and I'm okay with this one because they didn't give us a window.
Yeah.
We knew that when they went bankrupt, This set that game back at least 8 months for sure. You know, so I'm okay with this one because at least it has a date. I thought it was going to be canceled, so for this one, I'm actually okay with this delay.
Good that it's coming out. And then as for Arkham Knight, I guess I understand because Arkham Knight is the last game of the franchise. Well, they're going to continue the franchise, of course, but it's the last game by Rocksteady. So I get it. It sucks. Again, it sucks. Especially this is the game that I want right now.
Yeah.
So okay.
I'm not okay with it. Look, again, just because they are saying they're delaying it by 3 weeks. What is 3 weeks? Like in game development, unless you're telling us that okay, I don't want to do nothing now. How many hours in a week? Okay, let's just say whatever, 100. Unless you're going to tell us that you're going to use 80 of those 100 hours in those 3 weeks, then I don't understand why would you have to delay it. More importantly, why would you have to tell us so early? You know, this is like the third delay for this game.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be a 2014 game. I think it's fall 2014. Yeah, fall 2014 game. And this is the third delay that's been through already. So it's absurd. It's insane. I don't believe it will be delayed anymore. so there's that. But it's just ridiculous.
What about their peace offering, Officer Down? You didn't care about it?
No, this is one of those games I want to see as little as possible. But I did watch it. But it's what I expected already. It looks really pretty. But, it doesn't excuse the fact that again my hype level from when we first posted that picture on Instagram, like, oh shoot, Rocksteady's back. That was like in 2012 or 2013 or something when we posted that picture. And I'm like down here now. I just want to get over with at this point, I think it's going to be amazing. It better be a 10 out of 10 game if it's taking this long, that's all I'm saying. So, yeah, delays, I mean, we almost had a deep thoughts on this because this is just getting out of hand.
Yeah, it's a lot of
That's
delays.
3 delays in a week.
Okay, so moving on. We got Titanfall 2 coming to Xbox One and actually now going to PS4 and PC. What do you think about this?
It's good for a Respawn. Titanfall, when we first saw the trailer at E3 2013, I believe, I said like this could be the Call of Duty killer. It definitely could be. It's very different. It looks pretty fun, but not as hardcore, But unfortunately, I guess it being an Xbox One exclusive hurt it. I also really believe that it not being, I think the window was good. It came out in March, like 2014.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened. I guess people just got bored of it. Probably because it was all the Call of Duty guys coming to try it out, and those guys are just so hard to please. So I don't know. I hear that the controls are fun. You've
yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. But I could see why I would not hold on to it. Like I just gotta drop it. I don't know.
And to be honest, I'm probably not gonna play it on PS4. Like if I play it, it's probably on Xbox One because I want to play Titanfall 1, and I don't want to have my achievements from Titanfall 1 and trophies from Titanfall 2. And more importantly, if you're already getting used to the Xbox One controller in Titanfall, I want to see how they improve on that for Titanfall 2.
Yeah, that's true. Makes sense.
But they'll make a lot more money this way, at least.
Sure.
So
next one, we should just talk about it. Siege Closed Alpha announced, and it seems it's PC only. So closed alpha, So I think we played one, didn't we, for some time?
We played several. Yeah, we've gotten to Destiny, Battlefield, Evolve. Yeah, we've been getting a lot.
Is it Destiny Alpha and Beta, right?
Yeah, we got into both. Yeah, Alpha and Beta.
Yeah. So how do you feel about this?
It sucks that it's on PC. Again, not a game that I'm going to play on PC. So, but I will say that it's a good. It can never hurt. Especially for shooters. But again, the problem with Siege is that it's only like on 6-on-6, so you're not going to get like 40 people playing at one time anyway. So the server should be fine. So I think they're testing more because they've been really adamant about like we want to get your feedback and stuff, like anything you guys are having trouble with, because this is okay in my opinion, and I've been playing games for as long as you have, right? We've been playing games since their video games started, since the Nintendo or the Atari, if you count the Atari, I guess. But we've been playing since Nintendo. Okay, so we played pretty much every big shooter, every little shooter you can think of, right? I believe Tom Clancy is the most hardcore shooter. You know, besides your Counter Strikes and your stuff with the PC world, when you're talking about home consoles, I rate it as Call of Duty, Battlefield, and then Tom Clancy. Not saying that's the best by any means. I'm just saying as far as hardcore, Tom Clancy's, you have to work with your squad.
Yep.
You have to have a headset for Tom Clancy games, no matter what. If you're not, you're new. Sorry. Whereas with Call of Duty, you can kind of, you can carry your team. Battlefield, kind of, you have to have some, but it's really massive. But Tom Clancy is hardcore. It's the hardcore. So I'm sure they want to get it right to, the T's and the I's. So it's a good idea. I wish it was on PS4, but I'm okay with that. So at least they'll bring a good product for us.
Yeah, and the Siege looks like fun. That's actually one of the most anticipated games that I have right now.
Yes.
It's the Siege and the Division, which are both Tom Clancy.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so next up we got some Mortal Kombat X news. I keep wanting to call it 10, but it's Mortal Kombat X as stated. So Mortal Kombat X is actually having new players, which right now the big ones that everyone's talking about is Mr. Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th and Predator from obviously Predator. So I like this idea. I think it's really cool. So your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. I mean, people have been talking about Predator for a long time, and everyone's been talking about Jason, and as soon as you got Freddy Krueger in 9, which was cool, and it fits the world so perfectly. Like if you're gonna have any crossover with anything, it fits like so perfectly. It's not even funny. I like it. I'm sure that in the next one we'll have like Michael Myers and.
Would you play like Jason Voorhees?
With Leatherface, probably.
Oh, see, that would be fun. Oh, him with his chainsaw?
Yeah, so I'm excited for Predator.
Oh, wow. Now I want Hellraiser. See what you've done. See the door you've opened.
That would be freaky, man.
That would be so cool. It fits the world. It fits the world.
It does.
He was fighting with Scorpion the whole time when they were both in hell. It sounds amazing. I like it.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Predator. I'm not sure if I'm going to use Jason because when you think about like what his combat style is going to be like, it should be slow.
It's slow and heavy.
Slow and heavy. He probably will be pretty strong, but that's very hard to use in Mortal Kombat games, at least for me. I like to have someone a little fast-paced like Sub-Zero or Raiden. Raiden, my favorite. So yeah, I'm excited for Predator though. That'll be dope.
Cool. So,
and the trailer was badass.
Yeah, the trailer was nice. It was cool. I like the entrance for
Predator. Yeah.
Predator's entrance was really nice. Okay, so next up is Phil Spencer states VR interests Xbox, but he doesn't believe the tech has matured enough for the market. So this one I completely agree. I keep talking about how we need to advance the technology. I think that the VR thing is huge. Ever since they announced the Oculus, I think that's the first time I actually started looking into it. Everyone's making them now. So I get it. I get what he's saying. So I guess he doesn't want to test the waters yet. Because Xbox is still relatively a new console.
Yeah.
So I get why they're scared a bit because Sony, they make their own everything. Nintendo has been in the game for a long time. So your thoughts on this?
I mean, look, I've been in VR since the Virtual Boy.
Virtual Boy's awesome.
I used to play Mario Tennis on the Virtual Boy all day. But I'm not a fan of what they call this. This isn't virtual reality to me. I'm not sure. I have to find a name for it because it's not AR. It's not holograms, and it's definitely not. To me, virtual reality is what you saw in, if you guys know, .hack or Sword Art Online, where it's like you will put on a headset and you will be transported to a virtual world where your actual body can, which again probably will never ever happen in real life, but that to me is virtual reality. So I don't really consider this virtual reality. This is just like you have a screen this close to your face.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're in virtual reality. It's kind of like saying 3D is really 3D. It's not. It's just like two cameras projecting at a certain angle with two different kind of light schemes, and it's just hitting your face this close, which is why you're manipulated. So it's like manipulated VR. I'm against it. I finally decided I'm against headsets. I don't even like headsets. I don't like having to wear. I don't like peripherals. Period. I just want a controller and I want a big screen TV in front of me.
I think the way that we get into this virtual reality will be a headset, will be gloves, and will be some kind of feet sensors. I think not until then it won't be actual virtual reality.
The problem that though is that it's just like, again, it's gonna sound funny because it's like being lazy, like which I don't. I'm a fan of sports and being active, but the problem is that like think about if you're trying to play Zelda and it's like, do you really want to be running when a lot of these games are so tedious?
I would so lazy. So yes,
I would love it for a game like I was gonna say Skyrim, but it's too big. But okay, take like I don't know something kind of like Arkham Asylum, I guess in a way, but just like a small scale, or like a small scale of Metal Gear, where it's like you have to kind of take your time and you're walking and you're observing and that kind of stuff. That would be awesome. But they're not making games like that. They want to port Skyrim. They want to port Call of Duty. It's just not going to work, you know.
Yeah,
That's
it'll
what I
be
mean.
tough. I remember seeing something a long time ago in PlayStation 3 days when they actually did the adult toys, the Move,
Yeah.
and they actually had like this thing with a shield and an axe.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. Like that's just where it was headed. So I guess if they do end
Yeah.
up doing this, they're gonna bring that back.
So, do you think that we're gonna buy an Oculus? I'm sorry, no, we're not. A Morpheus.
Morpheus. I think eventually we're gonna have to. Eventually, you
I
want
think
to ride that roller coaster? Did you see those people ride roller coasters?
The only way I would consider is if they make a lot of original IP. You know, I mean, it could be like a God of War spinoff, I guess, but it has to be original just for Morpheus as a platform. But you know, but again, so as far as his comments go, I love his comment. He's being smart. He's just saying, look, it's interesting us. We're keeping an eye on it, but we're gonna wait to see how Morpheus does. We're gonna wait to see how Oculus does before we spend all this money, you know, in R&D.
Yeah. I'll still buy it if they make a Final Fantasy Chocobo Racing.
Wow,
It'd be terrible, but it'll be fun.
Final Fantasy in that would be interesting.
Oh, that would be.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what they're talking about Skyrim. Okay, so moving on. EA is set to attend the Star Wars Celebration April 2015 to show off Battlefront. Okay, makes sense. I don't know. To me, it's simple.
Yeah, Star Wars Celebration. It's cool that they came out and said, like, yeah, we're going to show up Battlefront. I'm sure we're going to get a release window, and they will probably delay it, you know.
Four
but,
times.
4 times. But this game is supposed to come out next year. So as long as it comes out by next fall, I'm okay with that. Because it will come out with the Rogue, what's the Rogue Nation? With Rogue One.
Yeah. I see it as a December release, like somewhere around there. So fall.
You know what?
release.
Actually, I think a summer release would be better. I think September 2016 would be perfect for Battlefront.
Interesting. Okay. So next up, we got Nintendo discloses at an event that they are working with Japanese dev DNA to begin work on mobile Nintendo games.
Yeah. So let's stop it right there because there's so much to unpack. with
It
that.
is a lot.
So Nintendo's finally jumping into the mobile market. What do you think?
Yeah, this has been going on for a while. I've been talking about it over and over again. There was a time where I had a weird emulator on my phone, so I could play Pokemon.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what, like it makes sense for me to have that on the go. I think that they didn't want to do this for a long time because
Yeah.
they keep wanting to sell their 3DS, but I think that there was no choice. Like I think eventually you have to end here. So your thoughts?
Sorry, it's just look. We've had several times like on Instagram and stuff. People ask like, do you guys play Minecraft? Like, do you guys play mobile games? I'm not comparing those. I'm just saying people ask us up. But anyway, so more important, people ask us like, are you guys gonna cover mobile games? I think it'd be cool if you had someone cover mobile games. I think it'd be cool too. The problem is that I don't like mobile games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. Do you play mobile games? So
Too
much?
simple.
I really look. I don't have any. I have Sonic 2 on my phone, and that's because I got it for free. Okay. Other than that, I don't like mobile games because I don't like having to use a really weak kind of D-pad and a few buttons.
That is annoying about Pokemon. When I have
That's-
Pokemon
yeah.
Mobile, like I had to use that, and sometimes it didn't register.
Yeah.
It was really annoying.
That's the problem. It's like when you're trying to emulate a controller on a screen, it will never work. There's no matter what, you will never be able to get the exact kind of friction and sensitivity. These are pressure sensitive analog sticks that we have now. Okay, some of them, the Xbox One have motors in them now. Like you cannot get that on a phone. So it will never happen unless someone makes a universal controller for phones, I guess.
You know what? I think I've seen that before, where you put your phone on top of it and the controller's
Yeah.
there. I wasn't too fond of it. Like I don't like how it looks. Carrying
Yeah.
this controller in my pocket. The other thing about the phone is that you want to carry that in your pocket. So this controller, how are you going to carry that in your
Precisely. So it defeats the purpose, right?
Yeah.
So again, I don't believe in mobile games. There is a market for it, absolutely.
Huge,
not
huge.
not saying that they're wrong in it. They will make a ton of money, but they're gonna make it off people who play. Look, Angry Birds, Flappy Bird, all those
Candy Crush.
damn bird games, Candy Crush, Fruit Ninja. these games would not be here today if it was not for Nintendo. Okay, these are all in some shape or form ripped off of either Nintendo games or third-party Nintendo games that they used to play. These are the same guys who grew up on the Super Nintendo are making these games. You know, so if Nintendo jumps in, I feel like they will destroy. They will destroy this market. It's gonna be like on your top paid apps. It's gonna be like Nintendo for like the top 10. That's what I'm predicting.
Yeah. I remember I played Limbo on my phone because I had Limbo on my Xbox 360. I love that game, so I remember I wanted it on my phone, so I had it there, and I didn't play it as much as I did on my Xbox. It didn't work well with me. The controls again, especially the small screen. My fingers pretty much going on it. And I'm like, I can't even see
You're
where
covering
I'm going.
it. So it defeats purpose. The screens are beautiful and stuff, of course, but the problem is the battery. So anyway, I think the important part here though is what they said is that these are going to be original mobile games.
Yes.
So you're not going to get Mario 64 on your phone. You're going to get, like a new Dr. Mario. Maybe, stuff like that. So, yeah.
A new Earthbound.
Interesting.
As well as multi-platform software subscription service.
Yeah, so that's the next one, right? So they're going into this game streaming. That is the future.
Yes.
Streaming is, as we can see today, it is killing in music. It has been killing in film and TV because of Netflix and Hulu, and it's going to be killing because of innovators like Sony with PS Now, which is the first game streaming software, and Nintendo's smart. They're getting in ahead before Xbox, and that's what they need to do.
I remember I brought this up before, where I said everything would be downloadable.
Well, yeah, no,
digital
look,
everything,
digital everything. But the problem with that is that again, you need 3 terabyte capacity storage for that. So I believe streaming is the future, not necessarily, I guess, digital, but streaming is the future. And so yeah, that's genius. It's about time that we finally get a service that, if I buy Donkey Kong Country on my Wii U, I should have that on my 3DS. The fact that I have to pay $5 for both is ridiculous,
Yeah, now to plug in UET. So like we talked about it before, UET guys. What is it? Look it up. Okay. We talked about how I forgot, was it statewide or is it nationwide that we're trying to make internet like a part of whatever or you call that. So now that means that we'll probably get more servers. We'll probably it's be easier to actually have this, and that will help streaming a lot.
Yes.
Because now we won't have caps on our internet and that kind of stuff. So it's gonna help a lot. So I think that this is really helping that. So it works well together. The next up, they still in the Nintendo realm, is they also reveal that they are working on Nintendo NX, the next gaming hardware platform dedicated to gaming. Okay, so NX, are you ready for what's next? Next.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot saying that, I'm not going to touch on it for too long, but I mean, first off, it's way too early to be announcing it, but if you guys...
Pre-orders are up. What are you talking about too early?
They are. In Australia, they are. You're right, yeah. So, look, I mean, the thing is that as soon as a console ships, the next month or whatever, the next 5 months after they take a break, they're working on the next console. Like, you guys have to realize that, So they have been working on this since 2012 when the Wii U launched. I was doing a little bit of research. It took the GameCube to Wii about 6 years, and it took the Wii, which released in 2006, to the Wii U 6 years, 2012. So we can assume that they're probably aiming for a 2018 release date if they continue on the 6 year cycle. We'll get to the cycles in a bit, right, with the Twitch stuff, but I believe that the sweet spot is 5 years. I think that should be every 5 years we should have a new console, But again, remember, these are very expensive pieces of hardware that you have to purchase, But the NX is interesting if it is what we have talked about, which is I believe that it should be the cross between the home console and the handheld console. I want to, what I imagine the NX being is a piece of hardware, right, which is the console itself, and then your controller will be the next DS. Although I would like them to come out with another controller that is just, so you can have the option.
Yeah,
but I think that will be the next.
Which you pretty much did with the Wii U. Like they had the tablet type thing, so it makes sense for them to do that.
Yeah, I love dual screens. So
Also, I've been counting right now. I don't know if you noticed my weird counting. So NX, I'm assuming it stands for the N is Nintendo and X is probably 10. So I was trying to count the systems. It's like, what systems do they have? And so far I only counted 7.
Yeah, they're like an 8 or 7.
Yeah, I'm counting 7, but that's including Virtual Boy. See, I'm trying to not count like the Nintendo DS and
Oh yeah, if you do handhelds as well, it's a lot. But.
yeah, that surpasses 10. But counting the Virtual Boy makes 7. But I don't know if to count the Virtual Boy or not. It doesn't seem like a handheld, really.
No, probably not.
So that'll be 7. So it doesn't make sense unless I'm missing one. Probably one Japanese only. So
Famicom.
oh wait, 8. Whatever. And yes, Famicom. So I think that makes sense. So I don't know. I'm lost unless it's a code name, just like the code name on the Wii Revolution, which I like that name.
And this one is Project Cafe for the Wii U.
That sounds terrible.
It is.
That was terrible. I don't like it. So, how do you feel about it? Do you want the next console? I think we talked about this. I think we want.
Look, I mean, I have a Wii U, and primarily just because I'm a hardcore Zelda fan, which is why I needed to get this thing. But the thing is that it's collecting dust. I still think Super Smash Brothers was probably the best game of 2014. Okay, because that's when we spend the most time on. I still play that game like every Saturday. You know, because this is a perfect, not perfect, but it's virtually perfect kind of a game. But it is the only game that I play on my Wii U. The only game.
Yeah.
It's been out since 2012, and the only game I play and have is Wind Waker, which I lost because when I switched my account name, it deleted it because Nintendo doesn't know what the internet is, apparently. And then the second one is Super Smash Bros. So, and Wind Waker is a port of a GameCube game. So when you look at it in retrospective, the only game it has is Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, I think it's also time for them to really push the online gaming, so you go play as Yarn online with all your friends.
Look, I mean, the problem is that with hardware, Nintendo is so behind. It's sad. So, I mean, look, I don't want it to be an NX unless it can compete. I don't mean, like, as far as, like, the horsepower that's in the PS4 and Xbox One, but I mean, as far as all the features and the graphical capabilities, it has to. Yeah. And I think that they're going to release it sooner than later because they have no third-party support right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, at least they're not showing it off, which is really weird. It's like they're trying to dig their own grave. Okay, let's see. New software specifically made for smart devices? I think we just already covered that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so, oh yeah, the other thing is that, I don't know if we mentioned, the no ports? Yeah, I think we just original games.
For mobile devices.
Yeah, for mobile devices.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up, we got, I don't even know where I'm at, I lost myself. Here we go. Konami versus Kojima. Shifting to a headquarters controlled system. Possibly will only contract employees instead of hiring them. Remove Kojima's name from... Oh yeah, that's another separate thing. Is they removed Kojima's name from Metal Gear Solid 5 production site. Renames Kojima LA Studio to Konami Studio. And then Konami is now hiring for a new Metal Gear series. Power struggle listed as cause. So this is actually quite a handful. So what's going to happen with the new Metal Gear games in Silent Hills?
I mean, at first I was like really up in arms about this because I believe as far as the game industry as a whole, Kojima is like would be in the Hall of Fame. You know, like maybe not alone, but he would be one of those guys that is in the Hall of Fame because I mean, whether you're not a fan of Metal Gear or not, he created the stealth genre pretty much in video games. Not technically, but he flipped it on its head, and he showed us, look, at every single game that you have a stealth mechanic of crouching and going prone is because of Metal Gear. You know, he changed third-person shooters with Metal Gear.
Yeah, nonetheless, if you like him or not, or like his games or not, there's no way of saying that this didn't happen, that he made himself somebody huge, because he actually changed.
He changed the industry, you know. Because of him, cutscenes were brought into 3D games on the PlayStation. He emphasized, it was one of the first games that you actually had a strong story in.
Yeah, he's very cinematic.
Mario, Zelda, these games did not have a story. You know, it was just like little chat bubbles. This had cutscenes, it had story. It's pretty much like kind of what Final Fantasy did to the RPG. You know, Metal Gear did for the stealth and action kind of adventure games. You know, so the guy's a hero. You know, one of the greatest developers ever. So it's kind of sad to see that Konami is very like, no, we want all the kind of credit and stuff. But after looking back at this, after like it's been like a week or something, we've been getting news. I think just what's going on is that Kojima is saying like it's time to wrap up Metal Gear, at least for me. And I think Konami is just going through a transition phase and saying, okay, so let's take away his name from Metal Gear, so that way we can put our name on Metal Gear. And now from the future on, people are going to associate Metal Gear with Konami and not with
people
Kojima.
get used to it.
You know, whereas the old school, of course, we're still gonna. I still think there would not be a Metal Gear without Kojima. You know, Konami would never have done this by themselves.
Yeah, I want to see how you react to the Metal Gear after this.
Oh my god, dude! Look, I went through a panic attack just when he announced in Metal Gear 5 that David Hayter wouldn't be voicing Big Boss.
Yeah.
And that was gonna be Kiefer Sutherland. I almost went through a panic attack. Not really, but you know, I was pretty crazy. So yeah, no, that would be interesting. We'll do a react video for that.
Yeah, it's going to be different for sure. Okay, so next up we got Black Tusk producer tweets that there is no Marcus Phoenix collection, but are working on other Gear projects and he will be at E3. So, do we need a Marcus Phoenix collection? It was just Gears of War 1 through 3?
You had a really strong insight into this because you know you're the Metal Gear, you're the Gears of War guy. So you came up with a really good idea of what's going on here.
Yeah. Okay. So he's just saying no Marcus Phoenix collections. It's pretty much the Master Chief collection type thing. It's it would just be Gears of War 1, 2, and 3 because Part 4, which is I forgot what's it called.
Judgment.
Yeah, that piece of crap. So that piece of crap, it has to do with Baird. So that's why Marcus Phoenix doesn't really count in that. So it's 1, 2, and 3. They're fun games, they're cool, and I think that actually would have worked well right now.
I would have loved them.
Since they're porting everything. So,
isn't that sad? I know.
So might as well remaster this thing. So I don't know, I don't care. But it's nice to hear that they're actually working on more Gears of War, which we all know was going to happen.
Yeah.
And that also makes me believe that because he's not focusing on Marcus Phoenix, I think that he's actually going to push to reboot the whole thing and remove Marcus Phoenix or everyone else. Like, we're not going to have that same squad, which I forgot what they're even called now because I haven't played it in so long.
Cogsworth?
Yeah, but they have a name. It's the Betas. Zeta squad. They have those squad. But whatever. Like, we're not going to focus on squad anymore, which I think is good. I think it's smart. So, and I think it needs a reboot due to how it ended and all that stuff. So, I think that's what they're pushing for. I think they were like, hey, forget about Marcus Phoenix. We're trying to do something new.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know definitely nearly as much as Gears about you, but I do know that, like, I haven't, like, played these games, like, you know, very much besides watching you play Multiplayer a lot of times. But I would have loved a collection before Gears, 5 or this reboot. Because it's a perfect time. I want to see it on Xbox One, 60 frames, 900p, so it can't do 1080. And I think because I'd pay for that. I'm sure. I think they're going to do it at some point. I guess maybe it's just I'm not working on it now.
Well, also that he will be at E3. So next up, God of War is turning 10 years old, and God of War 3 is coming remastered for the Port Station 4.
Yeah, PlayStation 4.
So, God of War 3. I don't remember if I liked it as much as 1, because 1 has a little place in my heart. I loved it when it first came out. I was like, oh wow, this game is hardcore.
Yeah.
I remember when I played that, and there was also another game that was very similar to it. And yeah, I just thought it was awesome. I really like it. Greek mythology, awesome. Kratos has marked his way, like he is just awesome. He is quite a character in the world of gaming. So, your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I completely agree with what you said. He's iconic with the PlayStation brand. It's very reminiscent of Devil May Cry, like on the PS2. They both came out around not too far apart from each other. I love the series. I played every single one of them. I platinumed every single one of them on the PS3. But I mean, the problem is that again, this has spanned already 2 generations from PS2 to PSP to PS3. And it's one of those series that I kind of think it should just be left tied up like that in the PS3,
Yeah, I don't know why it didn't end at 3.
I think that the collection that they had with 5 games, and then you just have to buy, like, you buy that one for, let's just say, it's not $60 anymore, but you buy the God of War collection with the 5-game one, and buy Ascension, and play that on PS3, and you should be good. There's no reason to play it again on PS4, or even I don't even know why they're making another one for PS4. So I love the series, I love the character, but it's just time to wrap it up. You know, I would like seeing them go to something new. Like, I don't know, I always wanted, like, I don't know, them to kind of tackle something else in a sort of mythological kind of sense, like a King Arthur or Robin Hood kind of a game.
Good.
You know, I don't know, something like that.
That sounds good. Yeah, the game that I was talking about was based on Paradise Lost. I forgot what it's called.
You know what? Because we haven't talked about this, but The Order. I played through it. I platinumed it in one playthrough. Not very good. And these are the guys who made God of War. So I was very, very disappointed.
So they've been done.
Yeah, they've been done, exactly.
Okay, so next up we got Twitch Boss says Xbox and PlayStation needs to change form to shorter cycles. So let me read up this little clip thing. Is the problem is the 7-year upgrade life cycle doesn't work in the face of 2-year upgrade cycles for every other hardware platform. Shearer told The Guardian, it's so, I can't even pronounce that, intrinsically built, I gotta learn that word, built into how consoles get manufactured and made in full business model that I'd be surprised to see another generation. Keep going. According to a Twitch boss, the future of gaming hardware will be akin to set-top boxes with an upgrade cycle similar to the smartphones and tablets. They're going to have to change form. He added, you can already see this on Xbox and PlayStation, where there's tighter upgrade loop for both the operating systems and the games. This is the first step towards being able to iterate the hardware platform. I could imagine a version 11 product from both Microsoft and Sony, which adds slightly more speed and slightly more memory, very similar to how phones and tablets work today. I think it's going to look more like the mobile phone market over time. This sounds terrible. It's terrible. Let me just finish that up. As many have argued, the console market's days are numbered. And yet PlayStation 4 sales continue to defy expectations. In fact, Sony's console has already surpassed 20 million in worldwide sales, despite continued interest in consumers. Do you think dedicated game platforms are on the way out?
I mean, I hate this comment on so many levels. Look, this is the Twitch boss, right? So the CEO of Twitch. He's just obviously a smart guy. He made a very strong business platform, you know. But the problem is that he's comparing, you know, the gaming landscape to the mobile phone market. They're so different. It's not even funny, like how different they're two different beasts, you know, if you will. The problem is that people are comparing it because, like, oh, my PlayStation 4 can play Netflix, so can my phone. Why don't I just use my phone?
Yeah.
You know, look, the PlayStation 4 is not for browsing the web. I'm not even sure why that's an option. No, who the hell wants to, excuse my language, who wants to browse the internet on your TV with a controller? No one does that. Like, you either browse your internet on, that's why you have a computer. That's why you have a laptop. That's why you have a phone. You don't need it on the PlayStation 4. I love Netflix. I love YouTube and Hulu on my PlayStation 4.
You want to get GPS on your PlayStation?
Like, yeah. It's like, people swear like they carry the PlayStation 4s around with them. Like, no, I need just one device. Like, no, they're two different devices, you know. Can they be one device at one time? Well, that's something that UET is looking to. But, I mean, the thing is that at this point, that's not what the goal is right now. The goal is to make the best hardware possible. Now, the second point it brings up is that, you know, these life cycles have to be shorter. I see a benefit and I see a few problems with this. Okay, the biggest problem that I see is that, like, your house is going to be loaded up with PlayStation.
Yeah,
like
you're spending $500 every year.
Could you imagine, like, a PlayStation 4 and then a PlayStation 4.2 and then the 4.5 and then the 4S and the 4C?
Yeah.
Like, no, like, I don't want that. I don't like annualized anything. I don't. I get annualized phones, but that's mainly because, you know, we can review it for you guys and we can be up to date with technology, and because I'm looking into technology myself. But if I didn't have to, I wouldn't, you know. And for a while, I don't. I still believe that waiting 2 years is the better idea. So as far as consoles go, I do think that 6 to 8 years is way too long. That's for sure. They're aiming for like 10 years with these consoles. That's way too long. In 10 years, I'm gonna have. I hope that I can have a 4K TV in 10 years. You know. So I don't want to be playing 1080p games that look like this on a 4K TV, you know, that has this many pixels density. So, no, but I do think that they should bring it down to a 5-year life cycle. What do you think?
I don't like this because what he's trying to do is trying to make it into a PC. See, I think that's where video games are going to end up. It's, consoles, is you'll have a console that you could actually open up and change things. I think that's where eventually we're headed, is that you could even change the memory. I just upgrade my memory. Like, it'll be easy to, like, remove. Like, it'll say on there, it says memory slot, there's other slot, there's operating system, and so on and so forth. I think in time, we're going to have those kind of upgradables if you have to upgrade in hardware rather than software. Like, you can just send in a patch or some kind of software upgrade. And if they can't do that, like, you have to change something in the hardware, I think that it's time for them to open up. Like, the PlayStation 3 already looked like a George Foreman grill. You should be able to open it up.
I mean, the problem with that though is that, like, to open it up, like, I don't want to buy any device that I have to alter, you know, because although I believe I'm capable of doing so,
technology is always moving. You're gonna have to.
The mass market doesn't know how to do that, and
that's
they will
why
not know
they have to make it simple. This is why, like, it's gonna be like slots. Think of it as like old school NES, where you just actually put something in. You open it up, and it'll already be there. It'll say memory. It'll say OS. Right. It'll say whatever.
I don't like that.
That's where it's headed. I'm sorry you didn't have the time.
No, I mean, you're right. It sounds like a PC, and that's why I don't PC game. That's precisely the point. For one, it's way too expensive. For two, it's just way too complicated. And look, and again, I don't mean complicated in the way that you can't figure it out. No, we could probably figure it out, you know. The problem is that it's a process. Like, I'm one of those believers that is like, whenever I buy a product, especially an electronic product, all I should have to do is plug it in to charge it, and I should be able to play. I don't even like the fact that the Wii U and the Xbox One have power bricks. That's too. I don't like the fact that, like, controllers use batteries. That's too complicated, you know. I know how to change batteries, right? The point is that I should just be able to point. I'm using the stupid Wii U. I should be able to just point my controller and play. I plug it into charge. I plug it out to play. That's it. That's how I want it to be. So I do think that 5 years is key. It's possible that you can make it down to 3 years, but I don't think it's going to go because in 3 years, I mean, that's just too much.
And it's going to be really expensive because technology is always moving. When the PlayStation 4 comes out, they already have better technology. Like, technology is always moving, so it's going to be constantly expensive. So they could do it.
Yeah, but the problem is that, look, even on this technology that they have right now, they still don't know how to make games.
That's true. That's development, and that's because I'm sure that developers didn't have a hold of a PS4 when they were still making.
Because the problem is that this is the problem that the Switch guy is talking about, that he doesn't know what he's not a consumer. When I was playing Assassin's Creed, for instance, the design was impeccable. It was awesome, but it was so big and glitchy that it was not playable.
Yeah, would you say it was rushed?
Well, I don't. That's not even the problem. Because even after all the patches, it still didn't really work the way it should. The problem is that the developers have a different concept of what games should be, and the consumers have a different concept. I want them to use the technology at hand to give me the prettiest and smoothest game possible. Bloodborne has like a minute loading times. It's insane. It's too much. So it doesn't matter if you give them better and better hardware. They're gonna keep pushing that hardware as fast as far it can go. That's not how you develop. It's just not, you know.
So moving on, YouTube readying their own live stream service to compete with Twitch. Okay, let me read up on this. Last year, rumors swirled on YouTube's apparent intent to purchase game streaming service Twitch for a reported $1 billion USD. But later in 2014, Amazon would eventually acquire Twitch, with some reports fell through over antitrust issues, whatever that means. Now, it seems YouTube is ready to forge their own path, leveraging its superpower as an online video site to begin dedicated streaming of esports and other game content. Clearly, YouTube is already a force to reckon with in regards for gaming. Thanks for countless Let's Play and pre-recorded video game content uploaded to a site every day, but starting a game streaming service, at least one to compete with the likes of powerhouse like Twitch, still requires some work. According to the report of the Daily Dot, the revamped YouTube Live will offer huge opportunities to establish streamers due in no small part for the partnership or promotion from Google. An unnamed source within the organization claims YouTube has already assigned 50 engineers to the task. While live events already exist on the YouTube platform, they've taken a backseat in recent years. But with renewed esports and gaming-centric service is revealed possibly during the E3 2015, and streaming market is certainly in for some new competition. So I like this because I've seen some live streaming. Like it's really weird because they'll have to touch up on stuff because sometimes when you're live streaming, like you have to wait a while and you don't know when you're actually recording. So some people are like still sitting there, like, oh, we're live.
Yeah, so annoying.
So there's little things like that. A lot of stuff like you need to find a way to put stuff together without using Skype or Hangouts or however people end up doing it. So, but I think this is awesome. I'm so for this. YouTube has already its own. It is the #1 social media site. Okay, and it's all about videos, all about content. So this sounds perfect for this.
Yeah.
Like the gaming community is huge in YouTube. So I'm for this. I like this.
Yeah, I love it as well. I would have preferred for YouTube to have acquired Twitch, you know, back in like 2013 or whatever, because it just made sense. You know, those two, although they're kind of very against each other, they actually work very hand in hand. There's not a YouTuber that is professional, you know, at making video content that doesn't also have Twitch.
Yeah.
You know, we have a Twitch. You know, we have both. We have YouTube and Twitch. And we Twitch live stream from PS4. We try to do it every week, but then we end up putting those recordings and putting them on YouTube. So it'd be nice to just have one single channel that we can just do both on.
Yeah.
That, you know, okay, so we're gonna live stream on YouTube from 8 to 10, and then from 1 to 2, like around that time, we'll upload the video. That's for pre-recorded. Twitch is. Look, I love Twitch in concept, and that's why we use it, and we love that community. We really want to create a community with you guys in Twitch, but it's a little bit more complicated because you have to like subscribe in order to see past archive videos and stuff. So you end up having to like watch this on Twitch and then go to YouTube for the archive footage. So it'd be nice to have one that's just single, and if it ends up, I mean, YouTube is 40 times bigger than Twitch. So if they can have the exact same system for Twitch live stream on PS4, but just YouTube, we will just move strictly to YouTube.
Yeah.
It's just simpler that way. So.
That's what I want too. I actually want this to succeed. I'm happy for this.
Great.
So that's it. That's it for today. So thanks guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, tell us stuff. What do you prefer? Twitch? Do you like YouTube? Obviously you're here at YouTube, but do you want it all just in one place? Tell me, do you want Gears of War to reboot everything? Or do you actually want the Marcus Phoenix collection? Then we have God of War. Do you still want that to continue? So this is a lot of stuff. Let us know, guys. Keep in touch. Make sure you love us. You know, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. Good, Bad, Deadly. So thank you for joining us.